Hi everybody, how are you all doing? I hope we're having a good week so far. So today is Thursday the 20th of March 2014, first day of spring, so flowers are going to start blooming and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, never mind spring. Arrow. Suicide Squad, what a brilliant episode. Is it me, or are the producers and the cast and everybody that works on the show are just constantly looking at the previous episode and saying, how can we better that one? How can we match or improve or make these episodes even more awesome than the last one? Because it's as if Arrow is in competition with itself. Okay, 16 episodes already, and there's been a few flaws, but nothing that would dent the show to say, okay, it's going in the wrong direction. If anything, they are going in the right direction. They are moving so rapidly, so, well paced, but still quite rapid in some areas, that you just have to sort of like say to yourself, okay, let's stop for a second. What are we seeing here? So with Suicide Squad, I'll quickly give you the basic plots. I'm going to try and not spoil a lot of things in this episode, because I'm going to do a separate video after this regarding a certain cameo appearance. More on that later, okay? But yeah, so the Suicide Squad. This episode was quite Diggle-centric, because we get flashbacks of Diggle's time in Afghanistan with Lila Michaels and I cannot remember the character that Ben Browder played, but remember when he appeared earlier, back in season 1? No, season 2, sorry. Earlier this season, Ben Browder appeared as part of the group known as the Black Hawk sort of security. That was their front as such, but they were dealing in arms and such and stealing things. So Ben Browder's back, and so we've got the return of obviously Amanda Waller, Bronze Tiger, and Shrapnel, and also Deadshot. So when Waller enlists both Lila and Diggle, to Diggle's surprise that he was going to be with the Suicide Squad, he wasn't happy. He was not happy about it, because this is where the flashback comes into play, because it goes back to his time in Afghanistan. Remember back in I believe it was season 1, when Diggle explained about his convoy and what he was doing in Afghanistan, and this particular warlord that he was tasked to, I say look after, but he was, they were going to capture him and such. But in the end, he had to say he saved his life, and this man thanked him, and it was his name, Kadir, I believe it was. And we're back 6 years later, and we see Diggle with, back in Markovia. There was a lot of DC Easter eggs in here, by the way. Markovia was mentioned, Kandak was mentioned, Karak was mentioned. Oh, blooming hell. So yeah, but what we find out was that Kadir had dealings. I say dealings. He was the guy that was buying the Earth device that Malcolm Merlyn had got built. So we find out that he was one that purchased that, and there's this nerve agent, this nerve gas that is going to be unleashed, and apparently Kadir has it in his mansion. He somehow, how he came across it, I cannot remember fully how he came across it, but this is why Waller insists the squad to get the nerve agent out, or somehow recover it and bring it back to A.R.G.U.S. Of course, as is the case with Amanda Waller, they don't call her the Wall for nothing, okay, I have to admit. They do not call her the Wall for nothing. But her intention in the end was actually revealed. It wasn't really about the nerve agent, the chemical sort of like gas that she wanted them to capture. It was more focused. Actually, I'm not even going to say who it was more focused on, to be honest. No. I don't want to give that one away. But the setup was pretty good. Unfortunately, something bad happened to Shrapnel. The way how they all worked together, whilst as I say it wasn't to Diggle's liking, was really good. They worked together pretty well. Diggle was always, you know, in the back of his mind, kept thinking that Deadshot was going to eventually kill him. Deadshot and Diggle have a conversation together in private at one point, and it's all about a certain person that Deadshot cares greatly about. We had no idea that he had such a soft side, but Deadshot does care greatly about someone, being the reason why he's in the squad, why he's doing the mission and such. Oliver, quickly got to mention, he is wrestling with serious demons right now. He's starting to head down a path that is very, very dark, and it's all to do with Slade Wilson. Right now he's focused on bringing down Slade Wilson. So that's all he's bothered about. Even at one point he's telling Sarah that they can't be together anymore because he knows that Slade is going to use Sarah to hurt him, or vice versa. But Sarah's being adamant. She's telling Oliver, no, let him come. I'm not the same girl that I was on the island. So if he wants to, you know, try and kill me, he's more than welcome to try, because she doesn't go down easy. What else do we have? Oh my god. So yeah, well, back with the Suicide Squad. Now obviously when introductions were made, when Lila and Waller brought Diggle to the cells, as I say, Shrapnel, Bronze Tiger and Deadshot all emerged, and we hear a certain voice, and all I'm going to repeat is the phrase, because as I say, I'm going to do a separate video about this voice. Basically, the voice just basically came out and said, "Do you cuties need some counselling? I'm a trained therapist." And I sat there and I was just like, did I just hear what I think I heard? And before you know it, by the time the episode had finished, the amount of tweets that did arrive about this character, this cameo, was just amazing. And if you watched the credits at the end of the show, you will have seen the person's name who did this voice. Okay, it was unbelievable. It was just, I think it's been billed as the best cameo ever. Okay, never mind Stan Lee appearing in Marvel films, never mind Lady Sif appearing in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., never mind, you know, Nick Fury played by Samuel L. Jackson appearing on an episode of S.H.I.E.L.D. No, this cameo topped all of that. It may have only been for about 4 seconds, but my god, the DC comic fan base erupted. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But like I said, I'm going to discuss more in a separate video after this one, okay? So, as I say, brilliant episode. A good start. The way that it began was solid. You've got Diggle and Lila, then eventually reconciliating their relationship. But when we found out what Waller's true endgame was in this episode, Diggle had to come up with a plan. And the plan that he came up with was actually quite both brutal but amazing at the same time. It had to be done, is all I can say. But yeah, as I say, overall it was intense. It was insane, is what it was. But I think the real highlight of the show was obviously the cameo that we all got. Next week's episode, however, my body is effing ready for next week's Birds of Prey. Huntress going up against Black Canary and Laurel, and of course Oliver Queen. The next week's episode is going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Just a quick mention about the end of this episode of Suicide Squad. What I noticed throughout the episode was how Amanda Waller knew so much about Oliver Queen and what he does. And I did ask someone last night, I said, at what point did we find out that Waller knows about Oliver and him masquerading as the Hood? That she even knows that Diggle and Felicity both work for him as well. That even at the end of the episode, we actually see the Hood talking to Waller. I say the Hood, but it was Oliver himself dressed as the Hood, talking to Waller about Slade Wilson, because he even goes to see the Bratva, and they have a bit of an altercation there, which was very interesting. But it's some, I don't know if we've missed it, I don't know if which episode it was in, because I know that when Waller first burst onto the scene in Arrow, you know, she's a woman of epic resources, okay? Nothing slips under her radar. She'll know everything about anybody. So, I mean, I just need to find out how she knew about Oliver. That's all I need to know. If it was already mentioned in an episode previously, but we've forgotten. If anybody has any information on that, let me know, because, as I say, that was sort of something that was overlooked in some sense. But, yeah, we find out the reason why Oliver goes to see Waller, to everybody's surprise, and it is to do with Slade Wilson, and, yeah, it's going to be interesting. That's all I'm going to say. The next number of episodes, they've already teased, I think it was episode 19, called The Man in the Hood. Episode 21 has also been announced as well, titled City of Blood, and that's been written, no, sorry, not City of Blood, it's not City of Blood, it's The Man in the Hood is being written by Jeff Johns, and it's going to have 2 characters that are going to appear in the Flash pilot. They're going to appear in episode 19, or episode, it's either 19 or 20, the guy in the hood, or the man in the hood rather. So yeah, the next number of episodes are going to be awesome. Oh my god. And if you watched DC All Access earlier this week on Tuesday, David Ramsey along with Stephen Amell and I believe Emily Bett Rickards were all interviewed. David Ramsey basically said that what we see in the Suicide Squad and every episode after that leading up to the finale is all part of that build-up. So we are in for a serious rollercoaster ride, people. Can't wait, can't wait. Anyway, let me stop you there, or let me stop myself there, and as I say, coming up right after this video, I'm going to talk about this special cameo appearance. So if you do not want to know about it, then don't watch it, is all I'm going to say, okay? Because spoilers abound on that video, is all I'm going to say. But thank you very much for watching. This Saturday, or this weekend rather, a new Arrow character spotlight video will return, so look out for that one and find out who I'll be talking about. Thank you all very much, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye!